what's up YouTube? It's Sid, and in this video I'm going to be answering the questions that y'all left on my last video, as well as announcing the giveaway winner, so get excited for that. I'm going to do it at the very end, so stick around. So y'all left a lot of comments and a lot of questions and a lot of good questions, and I think I have time to answer all of them without this video being super long. So if I don't get to your question, or if you want to hear me just answer the rest of the questions, feel free to comment below that you want a part 2, and I'll totally do it if enough people want it. But yeah, let's dive right into it. So Kirti asks, comfort movie / TV show. I wouldn't say I have like a comfort movie, but I'd say my comfort TV shows, probably The Office. And that's very basic, but I really love The Office. Parks and Rec, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and early SpongeBob, like seasons 1 through 4. Early SpongeBob was great. I love early SpongeBob. Kind of in the same vein, Michelle asks, favorite movie. Okay, not to sound too pretentious, but my favorite movie of all time is probably 2001: A Space Odyssey. Just because, like, I really love space and, like, the sense of wonder that inspires. And I feel like no movie really captures the wonder of space as, like, 2001 does. Like, you know, just, like, it's a visual marvel. And it's, like, the whole time watching it, you're like, how did they make this? It's, like, it's an incredible experience. I also really love The Truman Show. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is another good one. I guess it's just like Jim Carrey. Pulp Fiction, and I just like Tarantino in general. And then Everything Everywhere All at Once is another one of my favorites. So there, I give you 5 of my favorite movies for the price of 1. I really like talking about movies. But anyway, Batul asks, something you're looking forward to in senior year. Okay, so this is going to sound a little bit corny, but I'd say the main thing I'm looking forward to is just spending time with people I care about, and hopefully also meeting cool people along the way, because, you know, that's what life's all about. So, yeah, I'd say that's the main thing I'm looking forward to in senior year. And Munnen asks, how would you compare New Brunswick to where you grew up and what you knew before entering college? I would say New Brunswick, it's interesting because I feel like New Brunswick has, like, the effects of poverty and redlining and, like, systemic inequality. You can see them more in New Brunswick than, like, where I grew up, which is, like, you know, kind of like more sheltered suburbia, which I'm not saying like the place I grew up was like a utopia which didn't have any racism or anything. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying, like, it's definitely interesting seeing, like, you know, how different the Rutgers communities are in New Brunswick, like the Rutgers campus part and like the residential parts, like completely different worlds. So it's very interesting. It's kind of sad, obviously, because, you know, these people, there's lots of parts of New Brunswick that are, like, very sort of neglected by the people in power, and it's very sad. But yeah, I'd say that's the main difference. Sorry, that's kind of a sad question. I'm gonna try to talk about something a little more positive now. So Cassie asks, favorite Rutgers class. I'd say my favorite Rutgers class, probably political campaigning. I would say just because we had a lot of really cool guest speakers in that class, and I feel like the guest speakers had so many, like, varied and interesting perspectives that it really allowed me to you know, really change my views. And, like, I felt like I learned a lot in that class and got a lot of different perspectives, and I think that's very valuable. So yeah, I'd say political campaigning. Nisa asks, what made you choose your major? I chose my major, well, I chose criminal justice because when I was, like, in high school, I, like, used to watch, like, Criminal Minds a lot and, like, watch videos about the criminal justice system, and I just thought it was really fascinating, and I don't know, I thought it would be a cool thing to study. And then I got into political science because I took a couple of poli-sci classes and I found them really interesting, and I was like, okay, these overlap a decent amount, so, like, why not? So yeah, that's how I picked both of my majors. And then Zara asks, what is some advice you have for people in the media industry or trying to start a YouTube channel and gain organic followers? Okay, so I don't feel super qualified to answer that, just because, like, I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel and I don't have, like, a massive following or anything. I'd say, you know, this is the corny advice, but you should probably watch, like, an expert like Ali Abdaal. Ali Abdaal has really good YouTube advice if you ever need, like, some legit stuff. But I would say my advice would just to be, like, authentic. Like, find something you're authentically interested in that you enjoy talking about, because that way, you know, you'll actually have, like, you know, enthusiasm for making videos, which is very important. So yeah, authenticity and intrigue. Yeah. Paige asks, what gets you out of bed every day and / what motivates you? Again, kind of corny, but I'd say just like, I don't know, trying to make myself better and make the world a better place would probably be like my main motivators for, you know, getting up every morning. But yeah, it's a good question. Fiona asks, when I think about memories, do you see them, or when you think about memories, do you see them from your perspective or from third person? Also, any favorite books? I see my memories, I think, from my own point of view for the most part. Sorry, I'm like doing that to my ear. I just went swimming. But yeah, I'd say mostly I see my memories through like my point of view. And favorite books, for nonfiction, I'd say my favorite book is Atomic Habits by James Clear, just because I think like the advice he gives about like designing systems and that sort of stuff is really, really good stuff. And then my favorite fiction, that's hard to say. This is like not a book, it's just like part of a book. There's this book called Interpreter Maladies by Jhumpa Lahiri. And it's like a collection of short stories. And the first story is called A Temporary Matter. And I remember very vividly reading it before I went to bed because I was like, oh, you know, let's do a light reading before bed. And I read it, and like legit after reading it, I stayed up for like an hour, like thinking about life. Like it's one of those stories. Like it's so good. It's so well written. It's only like 11 pages too. And it just like, it packs so much like emotional depth and like so many like complex themes in those 11 pages. So I'd say, yeah, it's not a book. It's just a short story, but that's probably my favorite work of fiction that I've read to date. Okay, John asks, what is your opinion on Greek life? Would like to see a video on the positive and negative aspects in your overall take. I'd love to make a full video about it at some point, but I'd say Greek life is, I'd say the main like sort of drawback with Greek life is that since like Greek life is supposed to be your community, right? Like people go to college and they desperately want to have a sense of community and feel like they belong. So because of that, it can kind of foster a bit of an us versus them mentality, which is what leads to like, you know, a lot of like the drama and like hazing, obviously, which is the big issue. So I think as long as people are smart about that and don't fall too far into the us versus them attitudes and all of that, I think it's not, you know, there's nothing inherently bad about Greek life. So yeah, I guess I can make a whole video about it because I have more complex thoughts and I can get into them. But I'd say, you know, for my like 60 seconds, I don't know if that's 60 seconds, but about 60-second take, that's what I would have to say. And then Sroth asks, how does this affect LeBron's legacy? I don't know. Will LeBron's legacy ever recover from this? I think so. I think my glory is king. I'm actually really happy that he didn't retire because I've never seen LeBron play live. So whenever he plays either in Brooklyn or in Philly this year, I really want to go see him because LeBron's one of my favorite athletes ever. So it became a serious answer. Yeah, I love LeBron. And then Fizza asks, this will be my last question for the day. Fizza asks, would you ever do streaming and or gaming? And how do you feel about skits and shorts? I don't know. I don't really play video games that much, so I don't know if I'd really be that into streaming or gaming, but maybe, I don't know, at some point. For skits or shorts, I don't really like short form content. I feel like it's very like, I don't know. I don't think I could ever be like a YouTube shorts guy, but skits I'm into. I actually like the idea of doing skits because I enjoy comedy, and I think I probably could write skits that are like pretty good if I ever got into it. I'm kind of right now just focused on the form of content that I've always made, which is like advice videos. And I think I can branch out like later down the line. But yeah, I definitely think I could make skits at some point. But yeah, so that was the last question that I'm going to be doing for this video. And that means all that's left to do is announce the giveaway winner. So drum roll, please. The winner of the $25 is Munin. Yippee. So Munin, when you see this video, text me and I will let me know how you want the $25. I'll send it right to you. And yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm going to be uploading again next week on Friday, maybe even earlier, we'll see, but definitely by Friday. Yeah, it's gonna be a really fun video. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. It's gonna be very controversial, very thought-provoking stuff. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.